Mexicans will just be watching on the outside, looking, telling each other, it's tall, eh, Raul? It will be very tall. It will keep the citizens of this country in. That's who it's for. Why would you be stopping a U.S. citizen to put them in the questioning investigation, please step out of the line room? But now you'll be sitting in that room for 36 hours. This is 2 days unwashed. You're growing stubble and you're wondering what is happening. Your wife is hysterical. Your kids are hungry. They're just giving you some cheap whatever and telling you just a few more minutes. We're investigating. And that is something that people in this country have never experienced before. And this is part of what God says, I will humble you. I will crush your pride. I will bring you to your knees by the things that you will suffer. And this is a direct response to the things that America does now to others. They'll make you wait to make sure that you're a desirable element. Now, most countries, most top tier countries, they want the scientists, okay? They want the intelligent people. They want people who are well-rounded, people who can contribute to the economy. That's what they're looking for. So now they'll be investigating someone who's never experienced investigation in their life before, maybe an investment banker. Why would anyone ever investigate you? But now they're just passing you through the dragnets simply because your passport says American, and also because they know you're under pressure, because they know you're running away from something. And therefore now it's that humbling, it's that crushing of the pride. It's feeling the uncertainty that the Venezuelans and the Mexicans and the Haitians are feeling right now. And their uncertainty is being discussed on TikTok like, yeah, get out of here. And that's how it's being met. It's being met without empathy. It's being met without understanding by and large. It's not just Republicans doing it. It's just a general American demographic. You can always go and look on social media and verify these things for yourself. People are having live streams and watching the people being taken off in shackles. And the chat thread is full of, I would have done worse. They deserve worse, and things like that. So with the measure you meet, it will be meted to you. People will be sent back to America. Now imagine there's a civil war on, there's randomized shooting. There's problems. You manage to get on a cargo plane. You walk all the way to Kansas. Somebody has a cargo plane and he's just wanting to hop the border. And then you make your way somewhere else. And then they tell you can't get entry to Nicaragua. Nicaragua right now would never stop an American. Brazil would never stop an American. But now these countries are telling you, I'm sorry, we don't know what diseases you have. We don't know where you're coming from. The war has been on for 6 months. Do you have COVID 9.0? We don't know that. And then they pack the entire plane and send it back. So that kind of thing. And he says they will do it knowing that you have no safety to go back to. Do you know what this is? This is acting without clemency. You see people running from a civil war. You see people running from, for instance, Liberia and Sierra Leone. They're running from the Khmer Rouge, right, in Cambodia. You know death is pursuing them, in other words. And then you tell them, no, I'm sorry. Go back. You deny entry, you send the whole plane back. You do the little plane flag thing, and that plane is forced to turn around, American pilot and all, and fly back. And what are the people in the plane thinking at that time? So that is acting without clemency. Yah says, you will meet the sword of judgment and the hammer wherever you go, because it is the hammer and the sword that you use now when the odds favor you. It's very interesting, and Americans need to bear this in mind. This desire that is in the hearts of a very large demographic in this country, that the border wall be resumed as soon as possible, build it high and dig it deep. You've been told here since 2022, since the Lord revealed it to me, early 2022, when I was doing the flee, Americans will flee prophecy. That wall is not for Mexico. That wall is not for the Chinese people who, strangely enough, are flying all the way from China to South America and then walking across the border, Joe Biden style. That wall is for us. That wall is for Americans. That wall that you build thinking it's to keep the undesirables out, it's actually to keep you in. That wall will be the worst goodbye kiss that Donald Trump ever gives the people of this nation. You will stand and you will curse that wall. You will stand and you will curse that man. You will revile that man. You will act as if you never cried and loved for and prayed for and put dents in your knees for that man. That wall will keep Americans in. As high as you build it, that is the level to which you will not be able to climb over that wall. As deep as you set the cement in the ground, that is the level that you will not be able to build, to scrabble under it and crawl underneath. Seal it all up. It's to seal you in here, because this nation is the pot and we are the meat. So God told Jeremiah, and so it will be with us here. So make that wall tight. Support it. Send all your cash app to make sure that the government has money to complete it. That wall is for Americans. It is the wall that will make sure that you will not be able to flee the tyrannical government that is going to rise up in this country. They will surround it with dogs, floodlights, and be standing up on it like Batman's friends. And you will wonder why you ever thought it was a good idea. Mexicans will just be watching on the outside, looking, telling each other, is tall, Raul. It will be very tall. It will keep the citizens of this country in. That's who it's for. So you should understand. To those who think themselves wise, you think yourself smart, God will show how shrewd he is. You'll be chased out of your land, and the hand of God will be stretched out against you wherever you run. Thus says the Lord. Hear the word of the Lord. With the measure you meet, it will be measured back to you. The title of this prophecy is Prepare for Level 10, Part 4. Your measure will come back to you February the 1st, 2025. Make sure you read Deuteronomy 31 and 17 and also Matthew 7 and 2. Those are the main scriptures, but you should also look at the importance of godly sorrow. That's 2 Corinthians 7, 8 to 11. You should look at how all things belong to God and he actually dispenses them how he wants. That is Haggai chapter 2, verses 6 and 7. For thus says the Lord of hosts,